Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to another video with me, Crazy Skin Dog. We're here at Castle Combe again, as you can see. Weather's a bit mixed today. It's been sunny, it's been rainy. I've come up and watched the morning session, and it rained just halfway through one of the heats, and then for the second half of the event. So yeah, we'll see what the weather decides to do. This place is hilarious in the wet. It becomes a bit of an ice rink, and the lines are a bit weird, and the lap time pretty much doubles. But yeah, it's an exercise keeping it straight. But we're going to hope that that stays off and we don't get any rain today. Nothing on the main track today. Nice and peaceful and quiet behind us here. I've already got my number and my complimentary bottle of water. We're number 4 for today. Hoping for some decent results. Looking at the group I've got this afternoon, though, it's very hard. We have both Harrison and Archie, who won the morning and afternoon session last round. They're in our session on lower numbers, I think 11 and 24. And then we've got Ben Frankham, Ryan Taylor and Jamie Watson, I think it is, who are all very fast guys, so they're gonna put us under a lot of pressure. So on paper, P6 is probably looking like the best result I can get, but we're gonna put our best effort in, see if we can get some decent results, check in between heats and all that stuff, and hopefully it stays nice and sunny like this, and we'll catch you after some heats. So here we go then, heat 1, and we're starting on pole for this one, being kart number 4. Our first heat is the pole heat, and we're heading down to the grid here, ready. Obviously pole is on the right hand side here, the much preferable side. You always want to be on the inside for the first corner. And we get into position, only 4 carts, we're set up nice and quick, waiting for the green light to go, and there it is, away we go, and we get a decent start. Second's going to get up beside us, but we're on the inside, so we're confident we can hold that, which we do, and then we leave him racing room, but we take the inside line through the chicane, and that's us in pole coming out the chicane. Quick look over the shoulder, just to check where he is. No need to go defensive on the first lap here, because he's not right on our tail. And yeah, we're away. It's a great start, and now we just need to maintain that. The weather's holding out. The rain hasn't come in this afternoon session like it did in the morning one yet. So yeah, just getting our head down, trying to get fastest lap in nice and early, because obviously that dictates, it's your tiebreaker essentially if you're on the same points as other drivers at the end of the heat. And yeah, it's a nice clean race. We're going decent, not being challenged, not needing to look over the shoulder, just keeping the concentration, driving fast, missing apexes like that. Quick check just to make sure that little mistake didn't compromise us too much, but we're looking good. And yeah, good start, nice comfortable start, exactly what we want in the Castle Combe Championship. I'm getting to the point where I should be able to win every time I'm on pole, unless one of the top drivers are also in my heat for some reason. And yeah, I know the track inside out. My pace is decent there now, and I'm good at overtaking and defending here. I'm confident at this track. So yeah, this is just get some extra practice laps in at this point basically, and see if we can set our fastest lap nice and early, like I said. And yeah, just find out where the track is today, where the karts are today, see if this car's good or bad, and yeah, just get back in the swing of it. Around the chicane, nice and tidy, up the hill, no need for human DRS because I'm not being challenged. Then round the top corner, nice and early on the power, get round there. Coming down the S's down the hill here. This one, it's probably my worst corner on the track currently. And then we go checkered flag, and we take a nice easy pole to P1 finish, and start the day off right. So let's jump into heat number 2 and see if we can keep that up. Here we go then, moving to the grid for heat 2, and this is our worst start of the day, P4. Obviously there's only 4 karts per grid, so we'll start in each position throughout the day. And yeah, P4 and outside, but we're confident against the drivers that are in this heat that we can beat them, and the green light's really quick, obviously because we were last of the grid, away we go. And we're up into 3rd straight away. We're on the outside though, but yeah, we're going to get that move done around the outside, and then now we're going to start to look to make moves, but we've just not caught up to them. In fact, they've driven away from us up the hill, which is worrying at this stage. We caught up a little bit coming into the top corner there, and we're still feeling confident that we're faster than the guys ahead, but we'll see, because we don't seem to be making much ground, and that's fine in there, but we've only maintained, we haven't gained. And then as we come out of that hairpin, they're just disappearing, and yeah, turns out this kart 11, was a bit of a enigma on the day. Everybody could not drive it except one person, and yeah, everybody was moaning about it. The brakes were really pinchy, it was really rubbish at low revs, so the brakes locked up really easily, and then you put your foot down to accelerate out the corner, and you can see they've just disappeared, which is not normal. Like, something's not right here. But yeah, if the kart went down into low revs, when you accelerated, it just did nothing. It just bogged down, and yeah, it was really hard to drive. However, Ryan Taylor, he could manage to make this thing sing, and he had a fantastic time in it when he had it. But I'm not as good as Ryan, so I'm not able to make this kart work. And as you can see, I'm bogged in third, which is a little disappointing, not gonna lie. In 4 kart heats, I should be finishing in the top 2 every heat. I know this track well enough. The 2 guys ahead are battling. Yeah, there's no excuse for me to be this low down, other than I couldn't adjust to this kart, and that is something that I need to get better at, adjusting my driving style to the kart that I'm in. Because clearly there was pace in the kart, because Ryan set some really fast times, and there we go, P3. That was a disappointing heat, really. You see me here just testing the accelerator. I just couldn't get it to work. But it is what it is. We've taken a P3, just got to win the rest of my heats for a decent result, haven't I? So let's jump into the next ones. Hey guys, how's it doing? So I've done 2 heats so far, and my pole heat I just cruised off, took a win, nice and easy. Second heat, starting from 4th on the grid. Kart felt a bit boggy, I couldn't get away from the line, and couldn't get it out the corners very well. So that was a P3 from 4th on the grid, but we'll take it. It's not the end of the world. I got 2 more heats, and yeah, I got Harrison in one of my heats, so that'll be a tough one. But yeah, 2 more heats to go. Just need a win and a second, and I reckon we'll be up there in the A final. Happy so far. The sun is still out and glorious, as you can see. No sign of any rain yet, which is good. But yeah, disappointing second heat, but 2 more to go and then the final, so let's see where we end up. Okay guys, so we're into heat 4 now, because in heat 3 I had an issue with my GoPro. It's a thing that's happened a couple of times now, where it seems to be out of power, but the battery still has a bunch of power in it, and I just need to take it out and put it back in, but I didn't work that out in the time before the heat. Heat 3 was a frustrating one. I mean, I took a heat win, but I was getting loaded from behind, and I kind of waved my finger disapprovingly at the guy, and his mum decided to come and shout at me after the heat, which was a bit confusing. But anyway, we're on to heat 4, we're on the grid, and away we go. Nice clean start, getting up the inside there. We're going to try and follow first through, but he's not got a decent start, but he's on the inside, so we'll just take that line behind him. And then we're on the right hand side for the first part of the chicane, and that always leaves you the winner for the second part of the chicane. And the other guy very sensibly dropped behind me and lived to fight another day, rather than trying to fight it, because the guy on the inside always ends up in the barrier in that situation. And now we're on first tail, we're feeling confident, we're hungry for another heat win. I'm going to go for the switchback, and that is it. And he sees it too late, he goes to turn across to block us off, but we are already alongside and past. And that's the move done, and hopefully we can take a heat win. But we do have Harrison in this heat, so we know he's fast. He started 4th, we started 3rd, so we know he's going to be following us through these moves and coming up to challenge us soon. I just need to keep it together, keep my head, and not make any mistakes, because it's pretty easy to defend here. I know I can hold pretty much anybody behind me here at this circuit once I'm in position. And happy we see the human DRS up the hill just to help me along. No idea if it works or not, but it's fun to do. And yeah, we're coming down the hill across the start finish, looking to brake into the first corner, and I just pinch a brake and I run wide, and that is the only little bit of space that Harrison needed. Yeah, that was a weird one because I slammed the brake the same I had on all the previous laps, and it just didn't bite, and so I went long. Yeah, I carried too much speed in. I was a little confused. As I was turning in, I was wondering why I was still going so fast and the car hadn't slowed down because I hit the brakes, but hey, it happens. It was a mistake on my part and Harrison's taken advantage of it, and we can see he's gained quite a gap off the back of that. But P2, we said before these two heats, a P1 and a P2, and we'd be happy, and we took a P1 in heat 3 and we've taken a P2 in heat 4, so disappointing to lose the lead the way I did to a mistake made by myself, especially considering it's probably the only way you're going to lose. And then just a thumbs up and fist bump for Harrison there, because that was a decent, clean race, good fun. But yeah, we go into the finals. Certainly an A final with the number of drivers, and 2 heat wins in the second and a third in there. So yeah, we'll jump into the finals next and see how we got on there. Hey guys, so we've done the heats now, and I've taken a first, second, third and first. The last heat was a bit messy. Started second, got through, and then the guy behind, apparently his brakes weren't working, but he just like loaded me every corner into the hairpin, ran me wide a couple of times, but I managed to hold on, stay ahead. And he tried to send it and failed, messed it up and spun himself. But yeah, so I don't know where I'm starting in the A final, but I'm definitely A final. We're waiting for that now. C final's about to go out, so yeah, we'll catch up after that. Am I starting 4th or 5th?
1, 2, 3, 11, 1, 4. You're at the back.
11, 1, 4, yeah. He promoted me, right? Eh? Pull some strings, mate. Pull some strings.
Oh my god!
Just grab one off the shelf out there. Grab one of them, yeah. He's got cart 11. That's the thumbnail sorted. Brian, you set your fastest lap of the day in it, don't moan. Yeah. It's just shit drivers like me that can't drive it.
I did 24/7 at lunchtime.
Okay guys, so as we saw there, some bit of fun banter with Ryan over his cart allocation, because he got allocated cart 11. But as I said, he was the only guy all day that could drive it really, so he'll be fine, right? Yeah, so we're starting 5th in the A final. We're on the right hand side, which is always preferable, as I say, and all 4 ahead of us are regular round winners and podium sitters, so if I can get involved with those guys, that would be glorious. But not expecting too much. There we go, green light, away we go. Start is not, yeah, Dan gets a better start than us, but we've got the inside line and he hasn't come across to cover it off, so we're going to take that all day long. We'll take that inside line, then we're side by side going through the chicane, leave some space, but he does the sensible thing and drops in behind. And yeah, we'll be defensive up the hill, which is going to compromise us a little bit, but everybody else is being defensive ahead. And we can see Archie is already checked out. He's off in the sunset, winning the final. So we got Jamie, Harrison, and Ryan in front of us. They're going to battle over 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And I'm hopefully going to keep this 5th place and then pick up any pieces that come from those guys battling ahead. See, I take a semi-defensive line, trying to not lose too much time being defensive, but also trying to make it clear to Dan behind that I'm definitely not leaving him space to send it up the inside of me. And yeah, I'm happy with how that's going so far. P5 would be a great result. I started the day saying I wanted P6 as my best result, so to be sat in P5 currently, I'm happy with that, especially with the 4 drivers that are ahead of me, are constantly ahead of me. So that's my target for the future. I need to get on these guys' pace ahead, and yeah, that's what I'm working on. But as you can see, they are pulling away a little bit. They're battling though, and there we go. Ryan's gonna go for 3rd place, and he's got it done because he's on the inside into the chicane. And yeah, Ryan's up to 3rd, and unfortunately we were too far back to take any advantage of any of that. And we're still defensive, so we know Dan or somebody else is still on our tail. I'm pretty sure Dan was still behind me at this point, just battling me all the way. It was a great battle. It's obviously hard without any kind of rear view camera or anything to say, because to you guys it looks like I'm just driving around on my own. But yeah, no, Dan was right on my tail this whole heat, keeping me honest. See, I checked both shoulders there just in case he goes for the outside, and stay defensive, keep that inside line, and yeah, just drive. I've accepted that the top 4 is out of reach. That was out of reach by by lap 2, but right now I'm focused on keeping this P5, making sure nobody behind me gets through, and if I can hold them up and they start battling each other, then that makes my life easier. So you see I'm taking the defensive line. I'm pretty confident with breaking into that on the defensive line now. I've driven it enough, which is a bit of a snide dig at myself really, but yeah, driven it enough to be confident in defending here, and happy with my pace overall whilst doing so. So yeah, just a nice clean A final. That's the aim every round, be in the A final, be in the top 5 of it, and good things should come eventually. It only takes a couple to trip up ahead, and we've got a podium, and if I can take P5 every round, then we're going to be in a decent place for the result in the championship. So yeah, it's not the most interesting finals from your guys' point of view, but it is a decent one from my point of view in the cockpit and in terms of the result on the day. And it's another wonderful day that we're karting with friends at Castle Combe, and it's glorious. Yeah, absolutely love it. And there we go, there's the checkered flag. We managed to hold on for that P5. I think unfortunately Dan lost out during the battle with me to finish P7. But yeah, I'm happy with that P5. It's exactly what I needed in terms of my championship hopes and target. And yeah, we only finished behind 4 very fast drivers who are regulars in that top 2 or 3 for the round win, and I'm happy with that. So let's go check out the results. So here we have the final results from the afternoon session, and there we can see Archie took the perfect round, the win, the full 50 points, the pole position and the fastest lap of the day with a 24.53. So shout out to Archie, absolutely smashing another round. And then Jamie and Ryan finishing out the podium. Harrison, unfortunately for him, missing out on that. And then you can see me there in 5th, and that was a decent result for me. I was happy with that, as I say. And yeah, their confirmation that Dan did drop back behind one other guy. And yeah, looking at the fastest time now, I only did 25.15 today, and that wasn't fantastic. I mean, it's a decent time, but it's nowhere near the other guys around me. Look, I'm a good 3 or 4 tenths off everybody else in the top 6, but there's room for improvement. That's all we can say there, isn't it? That's the last little step I need to make in order to be fighting for those podiums regularly, and really pushing on to that next level. So that's the aim in future rounds. And then let's take a look at the championship, and we can see I've snuck into the top 10 there at the bottom. So this is currently showing the best 3 of 5 rounds, so 2 dropped rounds for the season, and that will be your 2 lowest scores. And we can see I've got a 5th, 6th and 7th as my 3 best results so far. A handful of points behind Aidan, because he's taken 3rd, 4th and 5th as his best. So that's our aim really, just to stay in this top 10 and see if we can't move up any. I think 6th, 7th and 8th is probably a bit far for us, but is probably the aim. If we can be in that top 6, that would be fantastic. and that top 5 is pretty untouchable to me. I think they're already a decent number of points ahead, and everybody there has had a podium in all of their rounds, and in fact Ben has also had a podium in all the rounds that they've entered. So if I want to be cracking into that top 6, I need to be making podiums on a regular basis. But I'm happy with top 10. That was my aim at the start of the season, so I just need to keep battling away, keep putting in these decent A final finishes, and start sneaking onto that podium at some point. That's the plan. And yeah, then if we look to the top, we see Ryan's currently out there leading with his 3 best results being first places, and Neil leading the Masters by some way and second in the overall, so that's a decent showing from Neil. And there is obviously also Archie, who's had 2 massive wins. He's not shown on here yet because he's only recorded two results so far, which does mean he'll only record 5 over the season if he makes the rest of the season. So he'll have 1 0-point round. That's probably my only hope of finishing ahead of him. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out. 3 more rounds to go, hoping for a podium in one of them, and just securing this top 10. But thanks for watching another video, guys, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Obviously we're on summer break from both championships at the moment, but I'm planning on doing some other fun stuff with the karting in the next month or so, so hopefully you'll see some of that on the channel, and hopefully you enjoy it, and we'll catch you in a bit.